Hi Vikes, I'm Jasmine. I'm part of the Downey Legend and I'm here with Manuel Castaneda, a fashion designer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Hi guys, I'm Manny and I recently started my own clothing brand, and this is a based off thing of myself.
So first of all, how did you get into designing your own clothing brand? That's really cool.
Well, I've always noticed that I was really good with drawing and being very creative with my artwork, and I always wanted to exceed into a little more. I never really started thinking of making my own clothing brand like this, but I always started like drawing like my own type of like different characters and just little things like that. But I never knew I was gonna exceed into making my own clothing brand until about a month ago.
So obviously you're here with this really interesting clothing brand. What got you into it? Like, what inspired you?
Well, I like to draw a lot, and I spent mainly all of my time drawing, and I always wanted to exceed into it a little more. I've always started doing paintings and just little things like that, and I always want to exceed into it more. I never really knew that I was gonna get into a brand like this until about a month ago, and I've been doing pretty good.
What's your brand about? Like, what is your story?
The background to my brand is that it's not my point of view of things, but everybody's point of view. Like how everything is undecided and that nothing will ever have a true meaning.
It's very interesting, actually. I'm intrigued. Who are your intended customers? Like, what sort of demographic are you aiming to inspire with your work?
Right now, I'm aiming practically all teenagers around schools around nearby. I'm not really trying to like get into like adults and anything like that right now, but like this is more like a teenage type of style.
Would you say that you're on par with like other popular brands like Supreme or?
Well, I don't really like to compare my stuff as that, because I see these are like my ideas. I don't like whatever I think is nice, I will use it, and I don't.
Has your family and friends, like, have they been supportive of your work?
Yes, they really have. Well, this is mainly like my type of brand. Like there has been people wanting to invest into my brand, but I like kind of turned them down in a way, because I want this to be my own thing. And I want right now the only people that help me is my family. Like they're the ones who help me start it off, and they're the reason why I'm starting it, and I'm gonna keep on going.
It's awesome to know that you have people behind you. And where would you hope to be 10 years from now? Seeing that you have this growing brand, do you want to hit it big in Fashion Week and things like that, or?
I actually do. I've been actually thinking about it quite a lot. Like how do I see myself in years from now? And I see myself as growing bigger and bigger, and because I'm not stopping with designs. Every day I'm coming up with different and cooler designs, so people can wear, and so people can know that I'm still gonna keep this going.
What are some of your favorite designers or maybe inspirations?
Well, I'm a very big guy of Supreme and Babe, and I like wearing those type of clothing, and I've always liked the plain type of styles that they have. And that's how I don't like having my stuff extra, but I want my stuff to have meaning to them.
So you would say you're more of a minimalist designer?
Yeah.
Yes. What's some advice that you would have for maybe an aspiring designer or somebody who'd like to go into the fashion industry?
If you're really interested, and if you see that you can be somebody with this, I would just say just be yourself, and to be very creative, and to not just think of random things, but to have meaning to your things, because that's the reason what's gonna make people want it more. Because every time I tell somebody the background to my shirts, they oh my god, they want it even more now. This is my favorite shirt. If you guys don't already know the meaning to this shirt, and if you can't just tell already, this is my way of woman appreciation. And all of my shirts, they all have this tag that tells a little bit of the meaning of my brand. And it says, nothing will ever have a true answer. And I not only have short sleeves, but I also have long sleeves. And this is another one of the best sellers that have been selling like crazy. Because a lot of people like the meaning to this, because it's very true. Like, not everything is gonna go your way, but it's like life saying it. This is one of my favorite artworks that I've ever drawn. One thing that I love the most are flowers, and my favorite flowers is a rose.
Did you draw that yourself?
Yeah, Mr. Kai was there when I was actually drew this. I drew in her class freshman year.
What's been the reception to that type of shirt? Like, what do people feel when they see it?
In this shirt, as you can see, is that there's a rose and there's a man holding it by the thorns. And to me, this means that beauty becomes pain. And how things will always, that there will always be good things in the world, but there will always be something blocking you or trying to prevent you from not doing it and exceeding into it more.
Alright, there we go. Now you can say what your shirt means.
The meaning of this shirt is how love is very undecided nowadays.
Thank you so much for your time, Manny. It's been so interesting hearing about your brand and how you're constantly growing with your designs and with your company. If you're interested in stories like Manny, or if you have anything that you'd like to share with us, feel free to DM us on Twitter or on Instagram, and we'd love to feature you. Okay, Vikes, that's it for this week. This is the Downey Legends signing off.